We have our mighty going with us and she has to leave. So we start without wasting any time and take best of her. Dr. Akshay Venkar has also joined from Canada.
Right, right.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning, Dr. Akshay.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Nice to see you.
Sorry to rush everybody like this. It's just that
No
I have to.
problem.
Yes. Thank you so much for everybody joining
It
in.
is a privilege to be with you, Dr. Sujata Naik. Even
Thank you.
Dr. Rajesh Patel is from Rajkot.
Mm-hmm.
And we have so many other friends joining gradually. So we begin. Dr.
Right,
Sujata,
sure.
you may brief your case in short with your experience so that people will connect to that. It is a case
Right.
of legacies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I believe everybody has gone through the case, and this is a case which has been very gratifying because you rarely get such kind of quick results in such chronic, very difficult cases. Now, this girl, she comes from a very low socioeconomic strata from the slums of Dharavi in Mumbai, close to Kurla. And she is the eldest of 4 children in the house. Am I audible, Dr. Kamlesh? Am I okay?
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Yes.
Everything is going
Yes,
on
thank
well.
you. Yes, thank you. So she was brought to us by her parents through somebody they know who had some kind of a similar skin complaint, they thought, and who had gotten better with homeopathy. So she presented last year. This was, I think, in June 2019. It's just about 1.5 years now. And we have closed the case about 3 months ago. So she came, and in the sense she couldn't really come because I think that was the peak of lockdown and we were not seeing cases in person. So they requested for a personal appointment, which we refused because it wasn't possible to see people in person. Plus, she had another problem. She was in very bad shape and she was unable to travel because she had very bad skin lesions, they reported. And she's in extreme distress. So can you do something? And she had just completed her rounds, fifth round of antibiotics about a week before this. And they said, please have a look at her. So then we arranged for a video consult, and we had asked to send the prior pictures and the photographs to us, which we had already had a look. A brief history was already given to us. Now this girl had started these lesions about 6 months before she consulted us, and they were so bad that she was in so much distress. She had those round, crusty eruptions. They would appear like small pea-sized patches first. They used to be maculopapular, extremely itchy, and then they would become large. She would scratch until they bled, and then there was continuous oozing of blood from that. And it was a very slow, passive kind of blood. It wasn't like the gushing blood, the little blood oozing all the time. And she was in such bad shape when we saw her that even with that, she wasn't crying, but she was complaining that this is hurting, this is itching very badly. And and this was June, I think 2019. So it was the peak of summer also. It was very humid and she couldn't bear the heat. And she said, even I really crave for cold things, cold stuff, cold. I feel like applying ice there, feel like applying cold things there. She used to, keep her clothes in the fridge. This we haven't mentioned, but keep the clothes in the fridge, and she would take the towel out and then put it over the lesions. And she wanted the fan all the time. She used to get irritated if the fan would be from 6 to 2. If her mother would make it at night, she would get extremely irritated. So this was a condition. I have given all the modalities also. Regarding her diet, we had asked her, so she said that I just love meat. I cannot गोश्त अगर दिन में नहीं होगा खाने में तो मुझे खाना हजम ही नहीं होता है मुझे गोश्त चाहिए रोज. So she was a confirmed meat eater all the time. She had a strong aversion to vegetables. For her, sabzi was only potatoes. So that was one big factor. She was on multivitamins. She was anemic also. She had been on a round of folic acid and iron and all that. But the lesions have not improved. So what had happened was that after 2 or 3 rounds of antibiotics with the dermatologist, somebody suggested an immunologist's opinion because they said this is something more serious. So when she consulted the immunologist, they suggested that they do a skin biopsy, which confirmed the condition erythema multiforme. Now, erythema multiforme is nothing but, it sounds very ominous, but Very often it's just like crusty lesions on the body, and it's the same virus, the herpes simplex virus, and generally it is perioral. In her case, it was all over the body. The perioral thing developed later, but generally it's a perioral kind of a lesion, and it is self-limiting most of the time. But the fact that for almost 6 to 9 months it wasn't resolving, she was extremely distressed with all antibiotics, antivirals. She was put on steroids, which also did not help. She was on local steroids, which give absolutely no relief. So with all this, they said the GP absolutely kind of discouraged her from coming to us, because he said that होम्योपैथी से कुछ नहीं होने वाला, इतनी स्ट्रॉन्ग दवाइयां आप ले चुके हो, उससे भी आपको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा है, तो आप एलोपैथी ही लेना, कभी ना कभी इसी से फर्क पड़ेगा. So after the 5th round of antibiotics, they were extremely desperate, and when they consulted us, she was in this kind of a shape. Mentals, there was not much. The only thing she said that she loves going out, she loves friends, and now she's online schooling she was doing. She was in the 9th grade, and the pressure of studies was too much. She wasn't very fond of studies. She wanted to go to school because she could meet her friends. She was very, very popular in school because she was very social, very happy, very cheerful, extremely, the crowd getter kind of, very magnetic personality. So this was something she was missing. She said, I really, and I'm so frustrated because Ammi or Abba pura din padho padho kehte hain. Ammi keeps saying कि घर में कोई help नहीं है, तुम help भी करो, मुझे ये सब नहीं करना है, मुझे बाहर जाना है, कुछ भी करके मुझे बाहर निकलना है, ये लोग बाहर नहीं निकलने देते हैं. And obviously it was lockdown, and COVID was at its peak. तो घर में भी सब डरे हुए थे, and it was a very small flat, not even an apartment, it was a chawl that they were living in. So she was anyways very, very claustrophobic in that environment. So this was the situation. So they said कि कुछ भी करो, पहले ये कम होना चाहिए, बाकी हम देखेंगे. And without expecting that this case is going to stay with us. See, very often what happens is that patients approach you when they are at the peak of their desperation, and they don't really understand whether homeopathy is going to help them or not. It's like saying कि जाओ black magic करा के आओ, homeopathy भी try करो. So that was the state that they were in, without having any prior knowledge of homeopathy. So when we took the entire history, we said, see, हम कोशिश करेंगे, let's see what happens. We'll just give you medicines for 10 days. And the case was then completely analyzed. It was repertorized. And as you could, if you have read the case, you'll see that there were several remedies coming close to it, because we took it verbatim. We took the patient's history verbatim. We looked at the lesions, the way they appeared, and the whole data was then compiled, analysis was made, and the rubrics were chosen based on exactly what the patient had told us. And one thing I'd like to tell you here, that we mostly rely on the patient's narration and less on what the parents say, because most of the time it's the relative's desperation that brings the patient to you. And that's not really important, because it's not the relative's desperation, it is the patient's need for treatment, which you should be concentrating on. So that is what we concentrated on. And the remedies that were coming very close were Merxol, Lycopodium, phosphorus, and lachesis. These were very, very close. Rustox was also there. But obviously, with when we repertorized, lachesis was the forerunner. Lachesis was the main remedy here. And you sometimes just hit the bull's eye. We gave, and because this was an acute and chronic, because she presented in a very, very acute state, we thought that lachesis in a slightly lower potency, 30C, moderate potency, which is not going to give any kind of aggravation. So we gave it one dose daily for about 7 days, I think, 7 or 10 days, and the patient was asked to report after 10 days. And we saw that there was remarkable improvement in 10 days. The lesions had dried up. And for all the skeptics who say that this could be either self-limiting or it could be an effect of the antibiotics that she took earlier, you must realize that the antibiotics had stopped more than 10 days ago, and she had not improved at all after 5 rounds of antibiotics. So, which gives us very, very good reason to believe that it was homeopathy that did it. And important, see, how do you know whether your remedy has acted? One is that patient must come out and say that I'm feeling much better. The first sentence must be, I am feeling much better. And then when you ask, how is your complaint? Then they will say, हाँ, अब itching कम है, जलन कम है, शायद बहुत कम नहीं है, लेकिन अभी मुझे लग रहा है कि मैं ठीक हो जाऊंगी, which is a very, very big step towards amelioration. So that is important, and it has to be sustained. So the second prescription, the first follow-up, the second prescription is extremely important, very, very important. I would say it is even more difficult than the first prescription, because sometimes we are at a complete loss. When the patient says total amelioration, then you don't know whether to repeat, do what. And when the patient says nahi, pata nahi, theek hai, nahi hai, you don't know whether to change the remedy, continue the same, change the potency. But here we just kept the patient on SL because patient was improving, though you could see that the eruptions had not completely resolved. Can I, Keur, I think Dr. Keur, can you share the first slide, please, first, so that you can see the lesions? Yeah, thank you very much for taking all this effort. I'm absolutely overwhelmed. The first slide, please. The one with the primary lesions. Is it possible?
Yeah.
No, this is the last one. Can we see the first one? Yeah, this is the one. So you can see how morbid these eruptions are appearing and how bad they look. This was all over the body. Believe me, there was huge lesions on the thigh, which of course we couldn't take pictures of. But these were the pictures that she sent, and when we saw her, she was in very bad shape. So, but when she reported the second time, when she sent the
Dr.
picture,
Naik, if you see, there
Yeah.
are also vesicular with blood in
Yes,
it. It is hemorrhagic
absolutely.
blebs.
Yes, hemorrhagic diathesis is very evident here.
Coming up, there is usually not so common thing to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So obviously there would have been secondary infection following it. So it was bacterial also. But she had completed her antibiotic. So this is the second one. Now the second one is after this will be the third follow-up actually. The pictures, the second set of pictures are in the third follow-up, because the first follow-up that she reported was she was very well. She said that I'm feeling much better. So she was kept on SL. She continued to be better for some time. And the next month she said that now I'm having, she reported, this was a reporting by the parents, that for 2-3 days she had a fresh round of eruptions with fever this time, and she had perioral lesions. And but the thing is that the girl was not in distress, the family was in distress. So they quickly took her to the GP because fever se dar lagta hai, aajkal COVID nahi ho jaye. So she was tested for her RT-PCR was done, which was negative. But she was not really distressed. She herself said that मुझे इतनी तकलीफ नहीं हुई, लेकिन मुझे वो मुंह पे आया तो मुझे जरा खाने पीने में दिक्कत हो रही थी. But then she was again given a round of antibiotics, which didn't help because the lesions kept increasing. So you can see in the second set of pictures that the lesions had increased around their mouth, but the other lesions had started drying up. So this time because everything remained the same, because all her generalities, her physical particulars, like her ameliorations, her modalities remained the same. She still wanted cold applications because this was around July, August, when the temperature had started settling. It had started draining. So even then she was still very, very hot. And she wanted cold applications, and she wanted the fan all the time. And she said that this time she complained that her periods, when we asked her about the periods, she said that my periods have come, but then ठीक से नहीं होता है मुझे पहले 2-4 दिन बहुत थोड़ा होता है और फिर 8-10 दिन तक थोड़ा थोड़ा चलता रहता है, and the blood is very darkish also. So again, the hemorrhagic diathesis is coming through. So this time we gave her lachesis in a higher potency because it was more constitutional. And we now knew that lachesis is a drug. So we gave her in a higher potency, single dose this time, 1 m. And she was asked to report again after 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, then you could see the third set of slides. We have compiled all the slides together. The last 1 month, they were taken over a period of 1 month. And you can see that there is almost total amelioration. And how do you know that it's a constitutional remedy that has worked? It's not just about the chief complaint has to get better, because what is bothering the patient most has to get better first. Very often you see that what the patient has been brought to us for and what the patient complains of might be two very different things, especially in pediatric cases or in adolescent cases or in geriatric cases, because it's the relatives who get the patient to us and it is their complaint which is narrated most of the time. But when the patient says that मुझे इस बात की तकलीफ हो रही थी, अब नहीं हो रही है, which you know that you are on the right track. So she says now that I'm able to eat, of course वो तो ठीक है, but अब मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है, मुझे तकलीफ नहीं हो रही. Not even once, because we asked her this time that do you want to go back to school? She said yes, I would love to, but ऐसी कोई, but I'm okay now. She's much happier. She's able to concentrate on her studies. These are the adjuvant positive side effects with the constitutional medicine. And 3 months on, abhi mujhe lagta hai ki I think it's 3 months that we have closed the case, and the patient has been being monitored. Abhi bhi hum, we are still following her up, and she is doing very well. She's not had any exacerbation after that. Just last week, she had come for a personal follow-up after we opened up our clinics everywhere. So she came for a personal follow-up, and I could see the difference. She said, my skin feels so good now. Abhi bilkul plain lag rahi hai, no? These are the words. She said, skin ab bilkul plain lag rahi hai. So, which was because everywhere she used to have lesions, she couldn't touch it. Touch used to make her very, very sensitive. Now she's able to move her hand on that, and she is looking much happier, obviously. And she had no complaints, absolutely. She said her periods were as usual, but she said the bleeding now got over in 5 days. So, which we'll of course have to wait and watch, but that is not her complaint at all. So you can see all in all, it was a classical lachesis case, which is very difficult. You don't get core constitutions anymore nowadays. In my experience, most of the time you have to keep changing remedies. You have to keep monitoring the patient. Sometimes it's a series of remedies that you have to give until you reach the core constitution, especially in very, very chronic and intractable cases. So to sum it up, this was not the case. There might be other intricacy which I might have forgotten to mention, but you're most free to ask me questions on this or about anything that you think is important. So I hope I have explained the case clearly. See, these are the rubrics. Thank you for sharing this. Skin eruptions, Sudamina, we took eruptions, itching, eruptions, desquamating, eruptions, crusty. The Sudamina was one of the rubrics, and we took that. Skin eruptions, crusty, itching, oozing. This is exactly what the patient gave us, you know. I think it's so easy, so simple, and so much more accurate when you just note verbatim what the patient is telling you rather than applying your mind. So she kept saying that मुझे touch से तकलीफ होती, बिल्कुल छुआ नहीं जाता eruptions को. And yes, the glands inflammation was because she had a lot of paracervical lymph nodes also when we checked. And there was a history of tuberculosis when she was a child. So we took that as well, because there was a strong glandular diathesis which has not been mentioned. So when we examined, there were when she came last. That is the time when we saw that it kind of got confirmed that she had paracervical lymph nodes, and there was a history of tuberculosis when she was a child. Obviously, coming from the kind of environment that she did, it wasn't a surprise. But she was the only one who suffered from TB. She had an old grandmother who had a history of TB, but her siblings and her parents had no history of tuberculosis. So that is why we took it as a rubric which was very, very marked. And obviously her modalities, that she was aggravated by any kind of warmth or heat, and her pain, cold amelioration. Actually, I think there's a kind of error there. It's cold amelioration, not aggravation. So if you look at the, so, and escape desire to, this was very strong when the first time she gave her history. She said that मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं भाग जाऊं यहाँ से. I really want to get out because I'm feeling so यहाँ पे मुझे suffocation type होता है. मुझे बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं लगता है घर में. मुझे बाहर जाना है. She kept saying that in her history. So escape desire too, and of course meat desires, constitution hemorrhagic, no surprises. So everything is very exactly what the patient told us. And based on that, we got those remedies. I haven't included the repertorial sheet actually, which was difficult to share on the group, but perhaps we could repertorize and give it to you later. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, Sudamina, the transient eruption of minute translucent vesicles caused by retention of sweat in the sweat gland. But so that's why Moxhol is coming up very, very strong in this. Patient is also very hot, perspiration was there, but of course, that time she didn't complain of perspiration. This was a modality that we noted when we asked her. Most of the symptoms, rubrics that we have chosen are from the ones that have been verbally mentioned by the patient. Right. Thank you very much.
Okay, so the session is open for the discussion, as the madam is to leave by 10 o'clock. So any questions on this case? She has
please.
the experience and the approach. Her thinking
yes.
concepts very well,
Yeah.
accurately, and that is why these sessions are open sessions. And here there are no restrictions. You may ask
Right, right.
questions.
I can see one question, Dr. Kamlesh. This is one, Dr. Kunj asking me about why the potency was jumped from 30 to 1M and not 200. Thank you, Kunj. Very, very pertinent question indeed. And if I had to look back in retrospect, I really like to use the highest potencies where you think you can hit the bullseye, when you think that you have actually had the case in totality. Because we generally follow the thumb rule in our clinic, where as you get closer to the simillimum, where mental symptoms are predominant, generals are very, very obvious, and physical characteristics are very, very, very strong. So in such a case, you know that it's a complete case, and here you can then approach the case with a high potency. 1M is not very high, but it's a high potency nevertheless, and the chances of very bad aggravation are not there. Secondly is because we knew now that the case had completely almost zeroed down on lachesis. She was lachesis all the way. After the second, third follow-up, she was giving all the symptoms only of lachesis. So that is why we thought that let's take this chance, give her lachesis 1M. Plus, now the condition had become more subacute. It wasn't acute, so the fear of aggravation also had come down. So 1M was given, and of course now the question still remains whether 200 would have still done the trick. But the proof of the pudding is in its eating. So 1M did it. So let's just on hindsight say that it was a correct potency. I agree with you that
Yeah,
this is
Mr.
still a
Naik, that
very
is your experience. That is great with the potencies. We have one teacher of organon with us. That is Dr. Akshay Banker, and I'm sure he will agree with me on the aphorism number 26, the application of aphorism number 26 that says that the weaker dynamic affection is permanently extinguished by the stronger one, similar of its
yes,
kind. So here, the strength of the disease was going so much ahead and rapidly, and we could see
yes,
not only the lesions but the ulcers. We could see the
yes,
infections. We
yes,
could see
yes,
the hemorrhagic blebs. It was spreading so fast. She was in pain. She was in trouble. She was suffering. And if we see all these things, so the strength of the disease is definitely higher, and we require to have little higher than that. So whatever you have selected, probably that acted because it was stronger than the disease at that time.
correct, correct.
And then the point
Yes,
comes about the similarity. It is a similar of its kind. So
yes,
whatever
yes, yes.
the cases produce, that was there in the patient. And this is why that's
Uh,
how we acted. Dr. Akshay, what do you say?
Dr. Kamlesh,
Yeah.
uh, it is very interesting about this potency thing because when I was going through Arthur Hill Grimmer's notes,
Mhm.
and in that I could see the type of cases. He was a very well-known American homeopath who treated so many cancer cases in his lifetime. He's one of the best who treated cancer cases, and he has a big literature to his credit. But if you see the cases, what he has done, he gives a medicine in 30 potency. And if
hmm,
that 30 potency works and he needs to go higher, he goes directly to 45M.
hmm,
So you can imagine the confidence that he has after he gives a 30 potency, it has worked. It worked means the patient is bang on the remedy. So he goes
absolutely.
directly to I would never think of 45M or 50M potency for a patient
Yes,
going
yes,
from 30. So I totally agree with
yes,
Dr. Sujata. She went from 30 to 1M. It was quite fine because 30 acted. So if you look
yes,
at the Arthur Hill Grimmer thing, then it definitely coincides and it is a right thing to do.
absolutely.
Thank you
Absolutely,
very much.
absolutely. Dr. Nisha has a question. I think let me take the question. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to go unanswered. Dr. Nisha, I think, if I'm right, Dr. Nisha, it was, she said that what is the logic when you say that when, you know, the lesions actually went from the extremities to the mouth. So would you say, I think she meant that, would you say that the disease is actually going in the reverse, the amelioration is going in the reverse direction? Because we say from the center to the periphery, a cure should take place. Uh, So how do we explain this? I think that is what she means. Yes, I agree with you that the lesions did go when she came back. She came back with perioral lesions, which she didn't have at the outset, and she came back with fever. So, are they not more morbid signs? Absolutely. In terms of clinically, perhaps they would be. But if you look at the general condition of the patient, she says, "मुझे तकलीफ नहीं इतनी हो रही जो उस वक्त हो रही थी." So the lesions on her extremities and trunk were giving her more trouble than the ones now which are perioral. Plus, the perioral eruptions are not looking as fulminant as the one which were appearing on her trunks and extremities. That is one thing. And if you look at the fever, we would say that fever is not a bad sign at all. It's a good symptom because it shows that the disease is being externalized. Unfortunately, they suppressed it by giving allopathic medicines. But because we followed it up with lachesis 1M, we kind of quickly could take over and put her back on the path to amelioration. So this is all in retrospect, of course. But whenever there is a situation like this, Dr. Nisha, I think you must give importance to what the patient feels, what the patient tells you, rather than what, going by absolutely by copybook or textbook kind of knowledge. Here, it was important that the patient was feeling better. And she said कि मुझे बुखार में भी तकलीफ नहीं थी, मुझे तकलीफ नहीं कम हो गई है. So which means that she, and a 14-year-old girl telling this to you, you can take this absolutely at face value. She was not trying to abuse you, not trying to make you feel better, not trying to please the doctor, which you might, attribute to patients coming from a higher strata of society or patients with more intellect or more refinement. Here she was coming from a very, very raw kind of a background. She didn't need to please us in any way. She just said that मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा था, तकलीफ कम हो गई थी, लेकिन मुंह में आ रहा था, मुझे खाने में थोड़ी तकलीफ हो रही थी, प्लस बुखार आया तो मेरे पेरेंट्स worried हो गए. So they took me to the doctor. So in this case, I think the direction also is correct because the disease is being externalized and the eruptions are going, which were ulcerative, which were fulminant, which were vesicular, are now kind of becoming more papular. So, and obviously, it turned out to be the right way of looking at it. Thank you, Dr. Nisha.
I just look at it little in a different manner. That Dr. Sujata gave a remedy. There is no doubt about the remedy, for example, and we consider that that was the right remedy. Now the potency that was given was 30. After giving 30, the right remedy, the homeopathy was invented irrespective of the potency. It was based on the law of similia. So 30 potency which was given, that was the right remedy. So it produced the general amelioration. The point was that that may not be enough to handle the process that was going underlying. It was so symptoms were better, but not the process that was under control. So what happened? That patient was better, and that was going on, but the process continued. So process took up its own toll, and it started its again process or the symptomatology and giving the signal. You are right, but you are not enough. And that is why when the so that you are right that the disease is not under control and from the legs it has gone to the face. So it is the indication. Okay, you attend immediately, and it was the generalized response of the fever. Whereby we see that the first slide, which was so bad, ulcerative, infected, blebs and everything, but there was no fever. Now system has realized that they have to fight, and in the process of that fight, the fever has started coming up and lesions have started appearing on the face. It means now reconsider and you now attend to me. And that is what she did by giving 1M that took a real good response from the patient. Now, Dr. Sujata Naik, there is one more question about the tuberculosis.
Yes. Dr. Samir has asked this. Yes.
Dr. Samir Upadhyay.
Yes.
There is history and past. There is a history of tuberculosis and why it has been taken as a general symptom.
Yeah, Dr. Samir, actually, thank you for asking this. I think I did explain this during the case, is that tuberculosis here became very, very important to us because it's not just a history of tuberculosis, but that the fact that it was only she in her family who suffered from it. So she has a very strong tubercular diathesis. When there was absolutely nobody, everybody in the same environment, her siblings, her parents, her cousins, a family of 10 or 12, it was only her old grandmother, who must have been immunocompromised at that time, who suffered from tuberculosis, and this is how the girl got it. So this becomes very significant in such a scenario, coming from the environment that she comes in. So that is why we took tuberculosis as a symptom to include. Now, again, when you take that, there are several other remedies which may come up, like lycopodium. Lycopodium also had a lot of symptoms, of this girl. But if you look at the overall picture and her demeanor, her temperament, the nature of the lesions, her hemorrhagic diathesis, and a very, very hot constitution. Lycopodium is also hot, but lycopodium is hot to warm, whereas lachesis is absolutely hot. So this became kind of a differentiating factor for us. And that's how lachesis was chosen. Lachesis is also a very good remedy for people with history of tuberculosis. Most of these very deep acting remedies will have some kind of a tubercular overtone every time. So it was no surprises, but so we are hoping that maybe, when she comes on her next visit for a personal, her paracervical lymph nodes would have also disappeared. Though the GP said that they are not significant because she used to have recurrent URTIs also as a child. And I think there was a history of tonsillar infection, which the parents are not able to explain very well when she was about 8 years old. And they said, "Us waqt kafi antibiotics dene pade the." So this is the overall situation. And I hope I've answered this satisfactorily, Dr. Sameer.
Madam. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. And yes, and
Ma'am,
yes,
one
yes,
question. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, Rajesh bhai.
Yeah, good morning all, except Surti Lala from Canada. Dr. Akshay bhai, how are you? Anyway, with the very little things I could elicit from the history of the patient narration, that something that is in black and white.
yeah.
For example, in food and drink, there was a strong aversion to meat, craving for meat, as well as aversion to the vegetables. The vesicular eruption and the typical diagnostic symptoms are of least value. So intensity of the skin problem, that is itching, that is so intense until scratch marks until it bleeds. That was the intensity of rest of the serous vesicular, blood-filled vesicle on itching, it bleeds. These are the diagnostic of diagnostic value, but not of prescriptive value. So if we simply take three symptoms, not considering the basic portraying nature of the patient, there are only 3 remedies that is perking up: Urticaria, sulfur, and lyco. Lachesis is missing in aversion to vegetables. So here, if we can trace the individualizing nature of the patient, basically the portraying feature of the patient, nature, that can be, I think, to my understanding, I was thinking in that line, why not thought of sulfur first, being hot remedy, and that covers these 3 black and white symptoms. I have not considered the basic nature or the individualizing nature of the patient. Why not to consider sulfur first, then lyco and other remedies?
Absolutely, doctor. It was very much in the running, and we were almost on the verge of giving sulfur and thinking of lycopodium also. But in my experience, over the years, whenever I've been looking at cases, I always feel that the last bit, which when you say tipping the post, that's where the remedy that is indicated is going to show up amongst the, because it's like a rainbow where at some point you're going to have blending of colors, and the hue that comes up, you have to pick up that hue. And it may sound very arbitrary, but it is not. It is very, very scientific, because that little bit, that is what makes homeopathy an art. That last clincher, which where that this is the drug. So we are trying to rule out lachesis everywhere, but it still kept coming up. And and it's the sad part of our, the only sad part of our system is that the only proof that we have is a therapeutic proof. There is no way you can prove me wrong now because she's better. And no way that I can.
No. It's not about.
So I'm just saying that. I'm saying that this is the problem with all of us. We are still learning. After so many years, I can share this angst with you all on this platform because we're all homeopaths. We're still learning. But this is something, So I totally agree with you. I would have been tempted to give sulfur, absolutely. But the way it appeared, and her age, her menstrual history, the passive bleeding, the nature of the eruptions, I think that it is very important when you have such kind of pathology to give importance to the pathology also, although it is very, it's not characteristic, it's not a constitutional thing, and you say that it's not a prescribing thing. but you have to include it in the totality, and it's the totality which is important finally.
Isn't it so, madam? Individualizing point of his personality is mental makeup, and the most individualized or portraying
I
feature of
would
his
say that.
personality
I would say
always.
that.
Okay.
You know what? I will
Okay.
give you a simple rule of thumb. Let me share this before I exit. Is that whenever you have a case where pathology is supreme, when it's a very, very bad case, either an infection or a very, very fulminant case or a very intractable, difficult case, especially acute and chronic. In that case, what is very important is that you use all the general the general symptoms also. Okay,
Right.
even if they are not characteristic, but if they are very strong, you must take them. Take them all and use one single physical characteristic or a mental characteristic as a differentiating rubric. Okay. In case of a case where you have mental symptoms predominating, only mental, you have such cases where you have a lot of mental symptoms. Homeopath is very happy when the patient talks a lot, gives a lot of mental symptoms. But let me tell you that here also there can be a lot of error. So you take everything that the patient tells you, but use one physical characteristic, a concomitant, or a modality which stands out and use that as a differentiating rubric. Because what happens is that more the mental symptoms, more the confusion, longer the story, more the chances of error. So you have to be very careful here. So if you follow this simple thumb rule, I think it eliminates a lot of error. This is what I have found, but I will definitely want to share more on this when I share more of your cases. Thank you very much, Dr. Kamlesh. I have to exit now because I have to reach a place by 10:30 for a function. So if you will excuse me, I'm sure Dr. Samir Upadhyay has lots of interesting things to share with all of you. So may I?
Yeah, Dr. Sujata Naik, thank
Yeah.
you very much being with us and sharing. There are two points to be made on your case, but I will continue to share even
Yes.
as you have to
Yes.
leave, and I will take opinion of the group on that.
Yes, please.
And I will share this video with you,
Thank
what
you very much.
I'm making. And
Thank you.
it's
Thank you.
very nice meeting. And I think every Sunday we continue to meet like this in the morning at 9:30 or 10, whatever time we decide, and discuss cases. It is not the symptom, it is the concept, the application, the idea, the thought
Absolutely.
process in
Absolutely.
the mind of the physician that is very
Yes.
important. And you brought them all out. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, all of you. Thank you.
And we
Please
wish
sit
you
in.
your
Thank you.
seminar presentation going on well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Rajesh bhai, you brought two important points here. One point is about disease symptoms.
Right.
What I would put across here is if we uh, uh, refer to aphorism number 3, what is to be treated in every individual case, and we connect that with aphorism number 6, morbid phenomenon. So now morbid phenomenon will automatically, and what is to be treated will automatically will include the pathology.
Right.
Point is how the pathology take place in that particular case, that becomes very important, and that is what the morbid phenomenon that help us to differentiate the remedies, differentiate the where the disease is progressing, that is individuality. Now in this particular case, this photograph gives us the picture. That is what we had even talked earlier. This hemorrhagic bleb,
Mm.
that is something that how the disease is progressing. Not
Right.
only such a bad ulcers and infected things, and but also it is leading to the level of the hemorrhagic blebs, and that is little beyond sulfur. If we
Mm.
see that we have to have the remedy which has the hemorrhages in it, maybe that help us with other symptomatology which connects to the case. Besides that, the another point was about the tuberculosis rubric.
Right.
Before coming to the tuberculosis rubric, I come to the point of the aversion vegetable. You said the rubric aversion vegetable does not include lachesis.
Right.
Anish bhai, if we see what our remedies were known for craving for salt in Kent's repertory, and we see drugs known for craving for salt in a complete or synthesis repertory, there are many fold more, 10 times more. It means whatever is given in the repertory is that much known by the physician. It does not mean other remedies which are not included that does not have the capacity to cure that particular symptom. But whatever are given that definitely has the capacity to cure that symptom. So aversion vegetable is not given as a lachesis symptom. It does not mean the lachesis cannot cure it. Probably it is a clinical addition, probably it is unknown thing, or in this patient, aversion vegetable is there, but it may not be the symptom, only the feature. We have to consider from various point of time. I hope I am very clear and
Yes.
I am understandable.
Yes.
So, if aversion vegetable is not given in lachesis, and if that cures aversion vegetable, because that is not coming in the follow-up, that after giving lachesis, aversion vegetable has gone away. If that is so, then we have to add lachesis as a clinical symptom to that rubric. Now, the third point that is coming up, that is about the tuberculosis rubric from the generalities chapter. What is generalities is all the drugs, possible drugs for that particular symptom, irrespective of the location, irrespective of the sensation, irrespective of the modality or whatever is happening. Aggravation sun, all the possible drugs where these drugs have a capacity to cure aggravation sun. So likewise, tuberculosis, all the possible drugs that has a capacity to cure tuberculosis. Now we understand as a homeopath that tuberculosis, that is a name given to the condition. But so that is the end result of the process. So when I understand the tuberculosis, it means I am not addressing to cause the lesions, the ulcers, the cavity, but I am understanding the process that has taken to that particular end result, tuberculosis. If I understand that, then anti-cox treatment, we understand it is a bactericidal and bacteriostatic that has taken care of the end result, but not the process that has led us to the tuberculosis lesions. So this tuberculosis rubric is pointing to these many drugs have the capacity to take care of that process where the end result is so-called tuberculosis disease. And if we see not just as a name by the name of the miasm, but we understand the process that tuberculosis, which was given the name later on, which was considered earlier as a pseudosora by Dr. Allen. And thereby we know that in the pseudosora, it is a sora syphilitic process. And if we see this lesion in front of us, they are syphilitic lesions. So we consider this entire process whereby the process of the tuberculosis is going on in the system. So which are the drugs having the capacity to take care of the process? With that understanding, we take the rubric tuberculosis, but that is a too general rubric without giving individuality response and helping us to select one remedy. But it will only in general just support the process in the patient. So these were the 3 points I thought I would interact with you to have your feedback on this so that it will improve understanding and the philosophical aspect of us and application to the cases.
Right.
So any other questions? If no questions, Madam has left, we proceed to Dr. Samir Upadhyay's cases. very nice cases, phalangrenum case and sciatica case, opium. And Dr. Samir Upadhyay, we welcome you and please help us in understanding the cases. Thank you very much.
Hello. Hello, Dr. Kamleshwar. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Akshay. Good morning, good night.
Good morning, dear. Good morning.
Yeah.
Time to sleep.
How are you? Yeah.
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah. Before I just start with the case, the most important thing is, for me, I just try to understand and trust during the case taking. Just sit with the patient with a very completely calm mind. Just try to listen what is going on. What sentences the patient use, how the patient speaks, what is the tone of a voice, what kind of gestures he makes. So rather than working on the computer, we are finding the rubric immediately. I just sit quietly. I just set up my mental faculty for a while. I'm not thinking at all of anything, as if I'm completely stupid when I am with the patient. Till the whole narration is finished. Then just I start to find what is the most important thing that makes the patient sick. I always try to find that point where the patient feels, where he started feeling sick. And once I get this in, then I try to correlate or try to find the exact rubric according. And I'm sure if it reaches to that level, your remedy will work. So with all the cases, the most important thing, I use a different approaches with all the cases. I am not stick to any one approach. So basically, I learned from almost all the homeopaths. I'm still learning from all the homeopaths and trying to apply in my practice day to day even. And this learning process helps me a lot. So I would just like to talk something about opium. So what is my understanding of the opium? Or I just wanted to share two rubrics which I come across many times in many opium cases. I got wonderful results with opium. Wonderful. That's sometimes amazing results. Sometimes that makes me surprised. So fast, so quick results I am getting with the opium in my day-to-day practice. This is a remedy which I use very frequently. So before I start with this, I just want to share you about the opium and my understanding of opium. I think screen is visible. Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. See, I just want to say the most important symptoms of opium is I come across, and I have observed in almost every case, not all the cases, but every cases you will find a tinge of extravagance. In every case, in somewhere in his life, and this is very important. What is extravagance? What is fear of extravagance? Then I want to share, explain you about the extravagance. It means lacking resistance in spending money or using resources. There are different understanding, different meaning of extravagance. one is lacking resistance in spending money or using resources. Another thing is exceeding what is reasonable or appropriate, excessive or elaborate. And third, the most important again, the beyond any reasonable expectation. You are expecting something. You have some time limit for that, and that time limit get over. That expectation is not fulfilled within the given time, within the decided time limit. And this is very, very important thing. Going beyond what is deserved or justifiable. For example, if I have a headache and I feel within a day or two it should get better. So there is no need for treatment. It will be get better of its own. 2 days, 3 days, 4 days will pass and not getting better. That means my expected limit get over. So here I use the rubric fear extravagance. That pertaining to anything, not only the disease, pertaining to anything. So that means your time limit crosses for anything. For example, time period for the cure. If you haven't decided 5 days or 7 days to get better, it doesn't get better. So they start feeling now you need to get help of something. So another thing, intensity of the pain, continuation of the suffering. So these are the aspects where I use in many times the rubric fear extravagance. I just want to share my first experience of this rubric or the OPM case. So I don't remember which year we went to the Patiala. Myself, Dr. Kamlesh Bhai and Dr. Akshay, we went to Patiala for 7 days to attend the workshop of Dr. Sehgal, brother, where I learned OPM very well. This is the first case which I want to share the glimpse of the case. She was suffering from hypothyroidism about allopathy treatment. When she came to me for her excessive hair falls, and that hair falls was not better with allopathy treatment. And she was on Altroxin. And then I took the case, I gave her remedy for 3 months and nothing happens. One day she came to me and told me, doctor, how long it will take still? It's enough now. What the patient say? It's enough now. I cannot wait further. So this is the most important aspect for me. See, it crosses its limit. He cannot bear anything more than this. What he says to me, sir, I have spent so many monies behind all these problems. And I have not, what I get in return? Nothing. My hair fall is the same. Nothing improved. My thyroid problem is the same. It also doesn't improve. Just increasing the dosage of the Altroxin. Now I am not feeling better. So at that moment, I gave 1 dose of Opium 30. And to my surprise, she started improving. And within 2 months, not only that hair was improved, but I am able to stop the allopathy treatment for the thyroid. And after 6 months or 7 months, almost all the reports are normal of the thyroid. The one rubric I add to that, business talks up. Because you're telling me, I spent so much rupees, so much money, and I'm getting anything back, not return. So it talks in terms of business. So I took the rubric fear extravagance plus business talks up and gave a remedy opium to the patient. I want to share a few more rubrics which I come across. So another rubric which I had in this particular case, she was telling me in a very high tone. When she was talking, 3 months has passed, nothing happening. She was talking in very high tone. So one rubric I took here is noise inclined to make noise. This is very important rubric. She tries to She got angry on me. She was just quarreling with me with very high tone of the voice. This is one of the most important rubric of the OPM. So with this rubric, three rubrics are prescribed OPM to this. So I already talked about the things, about the case taking. Another rubric which I came across is grouping as if in the dark. See, this is very, very important rubric. Means during the treatment or for the treatment, they are not able to decide what to do. They are in a confused state. What is confusion is? Whether to continue with the present doctor or to go to someone else because they are not getting better instead of taking treatment. Whether to change patches or not. They are incapable to decide what is best for them. Sometimes we come across many cases, we consult different doctors. He went for the Ayurveda, he went for the homeopathy, he went for the Unani, but he doesn't know what is best for him. He doesn't know where to go, whom to consult. And as if they are grouping in that. In Gujarati, we said Fafa Marwa. Andarama Hawa Kya Marwa. See here, this is one of the most important remedies opium. I use this rubric almost in all the cases I come across in opium. Another, I already talked about talking business of. Another rubric I came across, jealousy people around us. We know jealousy very well. How we use jealousy. So in this case of the sciatica, when the patient was telling to me, it was spontaneous. See, I give a lot of importance to the thing which comes spontaneous without asking. When I ask him, tell me about yourself, what's going on in your mind now? He says, sir, when I am looking at you, see, he was a very senior practitioner. When he says, I'm looking at you, you born in front of me, you develop in front of me, I know your father very well. The way you came up in your life, it was amazing. Why I cannot? You are making money, you are charging fantastically. Why I cannot charge so much? So what he's talking about, the problem, people around him who are in the same business almost. And that is the most important thing. And this is the one kind of jealousy. So here, there is one example of it, which I use this jealousy people around. Another very important rubric, William Wells declares he is. Just I wanted to give one explanation about it. When relatives or the other comes to him, or they try to show the concern about his suffering, about his pain, generally they tell not to do this thing. He says, what happened to me? Why you are showing concern? Why you are so much tense about me? I don't have anything. I am fine. This is very, very important things. You know, when a small children I come across it, hello, how are you? I said, what happened? Nothing happened, sir. I am fine. Many times I come across in so many pedagogic cases, they say, I am fine. I don't have any problem. That was the very first immediate response I get in so many opium cases and arnica cases. This is very, very important things. Another very, very important rubric I came across in so many cases, William blames himself for his folly. So he blames oneself for what made mistake, what he made mistake. Maybe because of his bad health, he realized that it is all because of his own silly mistake. For example, if I am not at this, I couldn't have a diarrhea. Then I made a mistake because I ate some outside food. So I developed the diarrhea. So I developed the cold because of my mistake. I should not eat this. I should not need this. This is very strong an explanation given by the patient. Always find mistake in himself and if feel sorry about it. I am not to do that thing. This is very, very important thing. Particularly about the opiate. And another very, see, I'm just pointing to the most important rubric which I come across. There are so many rubrics. I have a list of mental rubrics around more than 150 in the opium, which I use in generally. We're just highlighting the most important rubric for them. High spirited. One of the very important remedies, veratrum. Very high spirited veratrum is. The opium is also very high spirited. It's full of liveliness. They're full of enthusiasm. And because he's high spirited, he overlooks the smaller problems. He doesn't pay attention to the small problems because he is very, very high positive. He's very positive, very high spirited. And then this problem keeps persisting and go on aggravating the things. See how the whole pathology develops. How the whole sequence of the symptoms that develop. Because of the high spirited is overlook the small things. And they just go on increasing, aggravating this condition. And when it starts exceeding the threshold of it, then it becomes matter of concern. Again, the theme of a stage of extravagance came up. Then this creates anxiety, this creates fear, this creates a worry to the patient. And a whole sequence starts again. This is very, very important aspect of the opium. I have observed in my cases. Few examples of the other rubrics, I am not going into detail with you know everything about this rubric. I just go through the rubric. Alert and cautious. Brooding. Hopeful alternate with a discouragement. They are very hopeful people. Very positive people. Indifference to suffering. Most important symptom again. Indifference comparing does not. If you go indifference to everything and indifference complete, they're completely indifferent to everything. Again, one of the most important remedies is opium. There are few remedies, or 24 remedies. One of the most important remedies is opium. I come across this one rubric in so many cases. Timidity business in transacting. So I was just talking about my case of the sciatica, how I apply this. What it says, you are charging so much rupees, so much fantastic charging you are taking for the consultation and the follow-up remedies. Being a practitioner of so many years, no doubt what he says, no doubt, sir, I am satisfied what I am having and no complain about it. But the way you come up, the way you are making money, why I cannot? Maybe I am not able to take so much chance. Maybe I don't have guts to take charge. What it says? The problem is transacting in the business. पैसा नहीं लेवरेज देने में तकलीफ से. And he has shyness. He feels very sad, very sorry, very shy about it to ask for the money. That's why I took a big business in transaction, immediate business in transaction. Only single remedy is opium. So I can say in all the cases, I come across one or two rubrics which has a single remedy, almost in every case. That makes me confident that my remedy is right. So this is one rubric I come across many times. See, they are very contented, irritable during pain, fear, fright. We all know about all the rubrics. Anxiety, fear, fright, and fear, fright still remaining. We know everything about all the rubrics. The liars never speak truth. does not know what she is saying, ask for nothing. They're very contented people. They never ask for anything. I use this rubric in so many pediatric cases. When I come across, when I see this, ask the parents, tell me about the episode of the fever. Tell me what happened during fever. What they say,
I'm just interrupting you. Your voice is cracking. Maybe your mic you have to adjust a little bit. This
okay,
is from various group members.
okay,
So now
Try speaking without a mic and see if it helps.
okay. Let's try.
Yeah, try. Sometimes it happens with the mic, it cracks.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it okay?
yeah. Please continue.
It's fine. Okay. I was seen in so many pediatric cases, but generally they came for the fever. Now, just explain the episode of fever. What happened during that period? How the child is behaving? Tell me everything about the child. And the many times the parent says, "Sir, nothing happens. He just lie down in the bed and don't ask for anything. No food, no drink. Just lie down. There's no lack of interest in anything. There's no desire for anything." Even when we asked about the food, asked about the drink, he said no, no, no to everything. So here I used asking nothing for. They never ask for anything. They're just satisfied. They are contented people, whatever they are having. And this is one of the most important rubric I came across or I use in so many pediatric cases. This one rubric, well says he is well, sick well, very. Another rubric which came across the activity desire. In many cases, I have seen they're very active, even during the fever, even during the heat stage. They need to have active, constant activity. Needs to keep oneself busy. This busy is one of the rubric for the OPM again. Antics play, anger contradiction, capriciousness. So these are the rubric which came across in the pediatric cases. Rolling floor on, biting himself, eating refuse to, neglect in business. See, what is business for the child is to study. They don't show interest, they don't want to study. Maybe whatever the problem is. Don't pay attention to the study. These are the different expressions I came across when I use neglecting businesses. So this is a very important aspect of OPM which I came across. And about my case, I think I had one direct question from one person. I forget the name. It's just asking about the injury aspect. Why you are not considering the ailments injury from? So one thing is very clear. If you look at the generality, Dr. Kamlesh will talk about when I put a rubric about a question about the tuberculosis, why it considered as a general rubric. And he gave a very good explanation about it. There are many remedies, we don't find it in the particular symptoms. A back pain, injury after, where you don't find the OPM. But if you go into the generality, general symptoms, ailment, injury, bruise, aggravation from, OPM is one of the most important remedy, 4 marks remedy. So many times what I do, when I don't find the particular symptoms, I use this symptom as a general. I make it general. I look into generalities. And I apply that into the generals. Okay. Any question about this before I go to the Felindrinum? About my case? Or can I just narrate my case again? Hello? So the case was a sciatica of a 65 years old doctor. he was suffering from chronic backache for 5 to 6 years. And for last 1 year, he came with severe sciatica pain. What the most important thing is, the most important thing was what I observed is the way he presented with me. As soon as he entered in my clinic, what he says, sir, please. By folding his hand, he was telling me, sir, please help me. Please make me to come out of the bed. That was the first sentence he spoke. Before that, the whole case was taken by my assistant. As soon as he entered in my chamber, he says, please, sir, please help me to come out of the bed. The pain is so severe, I cannot bear this pain now. This was a beautiful explanation he came with. And at that time, I was sure at that moment, I'm dealing with a case of opium because I've seen so many cases. So in every case, first 5 to 10 minutes are very important for me. Generally, I come to the remedy in the first 5 to 10 minutes of all the cases. Then what I do, I try to find, try to confirm the things what I am thinking about. Rest of the half an hour or 1 hour is just for me as a confirmation. Because chief complaints or describing the chief complaint tells everything about the remedy. If you go with the very minutely with all the symptoms, all the understanding, all the experience of the patient, you will get a beautiful picture of a remedy in just within first 10 to 15 minutes or by 20 minutes. It doesn't take more than that. Initial phase is very, very crucial for me. Even in this case, first 2 minutes, I was with the remedy. Then just I started confirming with his explanation. It was very long case. I just make it very short just for the presentation. She consulted many orthopedic surgeons. And they used to give him painkiller, gabapen and neurocrine and all kind of things. He was partially better. He was not much better with the things. One day the pain was so severe. In spite of taking painkiller injection and everything, he was not better. So he called me, can you help me? And he says, please give me very urgent appointment. Please make very urgent appointment. I'm in a very severe pain and I just need your immediate appointment. This was, he used to talk to me on the phone. So while talking about oneself, he told me, since last many years, I already talked about, many years I'm practicing. I treated so many cases like this. I treated so many sciatica cases and all are better with my treatment. Why I am not getting better? This is again the one aspect of the jealousy. Patient with to treatment for me, they have got better with my treatment. Means people around me are get better. Why not I am better? This also again is comparing with other people. This is also one of the jealousy aspect. I already talked about I am practicing for so many years, I could not reach to that level. What do you reach? Again, he was having jealousy aspect. That was the came spontaneously. These are very spontaneous things. I said, what thoughts came into mind just now? He said, then he narrated this, why I cannot reach to that level. Even they are contented. Even I am satisfied with my life. This is very, very important things of opium. Any question regarding this? Opium case? Or the opium?
No, I felt it was a very good explanation of opium in a nutshell, because these symptoms are ones which we see in everyday practice. And listening to them again from a different perspective is very important, so that we can immediately correlate with some of our patients' expressions. And I'm sure people who are listening to you would have had that experience as what I am feeling. So nice, very good.
Dr. Akshay, I hope you remember a case at Patiala that Dr. Sanjay Sehgal had discussed of opium, where the fellow had an injury on the great toe.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
Dr. Upadhyay, you remember that?
Yes,
And,
yes, yes.
and,
Yes.
and he was not attending to the pain, the
Hmm.
Hmm.
injury, because he had to attend his business.
Yes,
And
yes.
he rushed to the clinic with telling that now my pain is so severe and you do something because I can't attend my business.
Hmm.
And it was a fear of extravagance was taken on that it
Yes,
increased. Now, if it has increased, it will increase to manifold.
yes.
Hmm.
And so another rubric in that was indifferent to suffering
Indifferent suffering. Yes.
Hmm.
with extravagance and
Hmm.
talks of business.
Business toxin. Yes.
And after giving opium, what happened that he started the pain that was he was neglecting. That pain became very severe,
Yes.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
that was the positive sign that now he recognizes pain and he confines himself to bed and take the rest. And
Yes.
opium solved the case. And there, Dr. Sanjay Sehgal said how we usually think of arnica in the cases of injury, but
Hmm.
can be anywhere because it is the individuality and the person who is suffering. And
Yes.
that is why we have to see the entire what is to be treated in the case with that nutshell. So this
Hmm.
case just reminded me, and you brought us back to that Patiala tour. That was
Yeah.
wonderful. Huh?
Yeah, yeah. It was a
Uh,
good
okay.
memory.
So group members, this is open for you. If you have any questions, Dr. Sanjay Saigal's case we have narrated, Dr. Samir's case we have narrated of opium. So that injury part,
Dr.
Samir has
Dr.
already
Samir
said.
Bhai, sorry.
Yeah.
Dr. Samir Bhai,
Yeah.
that patient entered into the clinic with the first gesture he did.
Hmm.
Sir, please
Hmm.
do something with folded hand, like as if
Hmm.
he's praying to you.
Hmm.
That is very typical. See, in this way of prescribing, there is no substitute of Dr. Segal's school because he has elaborated this medicine in such a wonderful way. This is typically needs to be differentiated with one rubric. This is praying morning. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि जो सुबह करते वो प्रेइंग है, दोपहर को करते वो दूसरा है और रात को करते तीसरा है.
Hmm.
और प्रेइंग मॉर्निंग में अकेली ओपियम पड़ी है और वो कोई
Yes.
रेयर पड़ी है.
Yes.
And or it specifically needs to be differentiated with he freaking for help. Please do sir, please do. जब आवाज हेल्प की बहुत इंटेंस हो जाती है to the extent of freaking, तो वहाँ that goes
Then
more.
opium is not there.
Hmm.
Where you don't find opium.
हाँ वो वहाँ नहीं है सर.
Opium नहीं है. See, the
नहीं,
tone get changes.
नहीं इसमें क्या है कि अगर हम डिसेक्शन कर लेते हैं ना किसी एक चीज का या एक सेंटेंस का, तो there are fair chances of us getting misguided or misled to some
Yes.
different avenue. But collectively, if we collect the symptoms and we form the state, there are least chances of us getting deviated because the
Yes.
commonness other presentation we have seen in opium cases कि
Hmm.
पेशेंट ऐसे बताते हैं कि सब घर में जैसे सब कुछ खाते हैं मैं वही खाना खाते हूँ, एक्स्ट्रा कोई एक्स्ट्रा गैस्ट्रिक कंप्लेंट के लेकर देयर इज नो डिफरेंस ऑफ माय डे टू डे हैबिट. सभी की तरह मैं भी ऐसा ही करता हूँ, पर पता नहीं है मुझे ही क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है. देयर इज वन रूब्रिक delusion objects appear in disorder.
Yes. Yes.
That is also very much commonly applicable in opium cases with
Yes.
which
Yes.
we are
Yes.
entered.
Yes.
Okay, Rajesh, repeat. You may be a little faster because people may not be aware about that rubric. You
Okay.
repeat the rubric which you said right now.
Delusion object appear in disorder.
Okay.
The first was praying morning. तो वो morning means it is always morning is beginning of the day. So here it is metaphorically used for when a patient comes and he starts his talk with this kind of gesture beginning of his complaints with this kind of thing, it is specifically mentioned under praying morning.
રાજેશ ભાઈ,
જી.
બીજું પણ એક point છે, જાગ્યા ત્યારથી સવાર.
જાગ્યાથી સવાર.
So when
Yes.
he can
See,
show
basic
up
problem
in
with
the
opium
morning,
person
in the
is
morning
they've got
only.
such a high tolerance threshold, which
Yes.
is quite abnormal. They are almost benumbed state, kind of insensitive, kind of anesthetic state. तो बहुत देरी से जब जगते हैं ना तो they frightened जैसे कहते हैं ना ऐसे जग जाते हैं, and they goes into a high alert stage, and they take prompt action or quick to act. Exactly, this is the scenario. Initially they are in indifference, complaint does not high spirited, they are very बहुत strong मनोबल वाले लोग होते हैं, तो they are not perturbed by the intense level of suffering or pain or agony. But once it crosses that highest level of threshold, fear of extravagance में जब चले जाते हैं, they goes directly into not cautious but into alert, quick to act.
Alertness. Yes. Yes.
They exactly they goes like that. और ये जो कॉमनेस्ट एंट्री पॉइंट रहता है ना कि सब लोग घर में खाते, मैं वही खाना खाता हूँ, स्पाइसी से वही खाता हूँ, अगर उन लोगों से भी मैं कम खाता हूँ, फिर भी ये मुझे ही तकलीफ हो जाती है, पता नहीं अब मुझे क्यों ठीक नहीं हो रहा. कंप्लेंट भी, सभी ट्रीटमेंट करवाई, ये करवाई, ब्लैक मैजिक भी करवा लिया, सब कुछ करवा लिया, फिर भी ये ठीक नहीं हो रही है. ये ग्रोपिंग के साथ साथ ये भी होता है कि मेरी सिस्टम में कुछ ऐसी गड़बड़ी है कि जिसकी वजह से मैं ठीक नहीं हो रहा था. वहां भी डिल्यूजन ऑब्जेक्ट्स आर इन डिसऑर्डर. So that is also one of the commonest entry point for opium.
Dr. Rajesh, another very important rubric is indignation, discomfort from
general discomfort from
general discomfort.
Yes.
This is again very important rubric for the opium.
Opium, that is
Only
typical.
single remedy is opium, I think.
That goes very much near with the feeling of embarrassment.
Yes, feeling of embarrassment. Yes.
Right.
This is again very important thing, rubric is.
So the
Opium
group
is such a
members
wonderful remedy. Dr. Sehgal has specifically mentioned that many a times when patient comes to you visiting many systems of homeopathy or different systems of homeopaths or different homeopaths, and still they are not improving. Most of the time they are belonging to this remedy. क्योंकि कुछ नहीं हो रहा, just like when well selected remedy fails to act, जैसे sulfasurine man, exactly in this way opium is mostly indicated. See, 20 to 30% of the cases which are not solved by all the systems of homeopathy, the different schools of thoughts of prescribing in homeopathy, are wonderfully covered by this system based on that rubric only. Opium, by this opium.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rajesh, for sharing your views and experience.
Dr. Kamlesh bhai,
Yeah.
I want to share one immediate experience. Yesterday I had an experience of
Please.
the opium follow-up.
Yeah.
Again, this lady is suffering from fluctuating thyroid problem. Sometimes we went to the hypothyroidism, sometimes we went to the hyperthyroidism. With allopathy treatment, it was not getting better for the last many years. And when she came to me around 3-4 months back, frankly speaking, I couldn't understand at that time what was the problem is. And I gave a few remedies and patient was not getting better. So I retook the case around 10 days back. And I came to the same set of symptoms. I gave opium 30. She came yesterday to me. See, pathology is not improved. Her generals are completely changed. She is generally completely changed. Her mind is completely changed. She's so satisfied, become so contented, and mentally is very, very peaceful with just one dose of 30 potency. And she said me, "Sir, I'm feeling much better. I feel your remedy is working now." So this is what I experienced yesterday, just within 10 days of opium 30, about thyroid.
Sir, what I understand from this, that we knew opium right from our college days. It is a state of stupor, severe constipation, very hot patient, insensibility. That is what is the picture of the opium that we have. It means it is the final ultimate stage of the opium. But the patient passes through during his journey from the state of the health to the state of the opium. And finer aspects are usually overlooked. It is like an antimony tart. We prescribe only at the state of the pneumonia. But what happens? Can we catch up antimony tart when patient starts? We don't consider at that point of time. We miss it out. But now this study, your contribution and Rajesh Bhai's contribution at the microscopic level, that gives us the idea that how the symptoms can start expressing, even the pathology has settled in. And at the urgent level also, we can prescribe the remedy. So
Sir, I want to share one more
Sir,
experience.
sir, one more medical point. With which Dr. Vijayakar has told in most of the acute cases, when they come with overpowering, कोई भी acute complaint that comes with overpowering sleep, and the patient is hot. Just don't think of anything. Similarly, if patient comes with overpowering sleep and patient is chilly, here always you think of Antim tart and Antim Ars.
Yes.
You don't need to look for the pathology, especially in acute cases, but with overpowering sleep and kind of hot patient, just give opium and it works miraculously well. It is such a single line prescribing for any acute cases. It also covers emergencies in Antim tart and Antim Ars, where because of the florid pulmonary edema or where there is lots of congestion and that rattling cough that is resulting into started developing into peripheral cyanosis and all. In all such cases, Antim tart and Antim Ars are very much indicated if provided patient is chilly. Because in such cases, emergencies, there is less time to inquire and go into the depth. So as an emergency rescuing remedy, we may think of in these conditions like this.
Just I wanted to share one very important experience I had in a coma case.
Yes.
With myself and my son, Dr. Daivat, went to see into the hospital. One old man had an apoplexy, had a stroke. He was drunkard. I just put it into the screen. You must have seen. When I went there, what I observed is in a coma, the teeth was chattering of the teeth. That was the most important aspect of the case. That to rubric unconscious coma, chattering teeth with. Only remedy was opium. Unconscious coma, apoplexy in drunkard in old people. Again, one remedy is opium. And unconscious coma with respiratory difficulty. When combined all these things, he came up with opium. Again, opium 1 in the repeated doses. He came out of the coma. Very well. This was one experience which I had recently.
So this is the very vivid sharing by our group members. It is all 11 o'clock and it is 12:30 midnight at Canada. Dr. Akshay Bhai, thank you very much being with us. I just want to get back to my group members. If they have any question about this opium case after listening to all this explanation, I am sure that this must have solved various aspects of understanding of the rubric and approach and the concept. But even then, if you have any question, please feel free to ask so that we decide our next program, further program. So any questions from the group members? So thank you very much, Samir Bhai. It seems there are no questions. It means you have made it very, very, very clear. I just want to have the views of the group members, whether this session was you find helpful. You have heard Dr. Sujata Naik, you have heard Dr. Samir Bhai, and you also got input from Akshay Bhai and Dr. Rajesh. So I am sure this session, from my point of view, it really helped me a lot. But what is your viewpoint? You please share here that we continue such sessions. You look forward such sessions every Sunday. Okay.
Sure. Thank you very much, Kamlesh Bhai.
Now it is 11 o'clock. So I don't know whether you would like to still continue or we take up next Sunday. So Samir Bhai, your one case we take next Sunday with Felendinum.
Okay, fine.
Okay. And
Okay,
because,
no
we had a very
sorry, sir. I am not available on the next Sunday.
Okay, next to next Sunday. Cases
Okay, fine. No problem. No problem.
will know, they have learned about it and they will have more time. They will have
Okay.
2 weeks time to study Phelangenum of their own so that they
Okay.
can interact with you.
Okay, fine.
more.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank
So-
you very much. Thank you.
So that is
Okay, thank you. Have a very nice day, all of you.
and I also
Akshay bhai,
put
good
forward
night
all
to
the
you
group-
also.
So I also put forward to all the group members, कोई केस छोटा नहीं होता. Please present your experiences, whether it is a case, whether it is a rubric, whether your awareness about any aspect of the aphorism or application of the aphorism or whatever you have, you please share. Dr. Akshay Bankar has shared one paragraph in the diary of homeopaths. Please go through that, and that gives idea about how to approach about local melodies and look at it. So please share your views, and whatever we discuss at the diary in 1 week's time, that we'll discuss. We will take up for the discussion on the Sunday at 9:30 in the morning. Moreover,
Okay.
you may join to a Facebook group of Diary of Homeopath, where also we will be displaying the all the material that we are putting into the WhatsApp group. Now we have also created a Signal group, considering that maybe WhatsApp group will have a problem. But it seems that so far it is going smooth. That is why we have not activated much at the Signal group. We will observe for some time and we'll have only one group running, either WhatsApp or Signal. But the point is, group by itself exists only if the participants take active interest in it and share your views, and that is the purpose of the diary of homeopath. Let your experiences from your diary come to the group. Thank you very much, and it was a really lovely Sunday morning. And Akshay, it was I really have you wish you a great opium sleep.
Have a nice day, guys.
So before we go into the fear of extravagance, that it is too much time taken, and we all have some business to attend. So without being indifference to our worries, we close down here and we meet on next Sunday at 9:30 again. And if you have any suggestion about timing of the day or anything, please post on the group. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Samir bhai, Akshay bhai, for
Thank
the
you.
Thank you, bye.
support. Thank you very much for the support and inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, sir. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you, sir.
Good night, Akshay bhai. ધીમે ધીમે બધા લીવ કરે છે હવે.
ને જુદા પડવું બહુ અઘરું છે ભાઈ.
હા.
પેલું મળવાનું હોય ને ત્યારે ઇનિશિયલ મોશન એગ્રેવેશન હોય,
હા,
પણ કન્ટિન્યુ મોશન એમ્યુલેશન હોય ને ત્યારે પછી બંધ કરવું અઘરું પડે.
અઘરું પડે, સાચી વાત. મોસ્ટ મોમેન્ટમ આવી જાય ને પછી અઘરું પડે.
તો ચલો આપણે હું અહીંથી સેશન બંધ કરું.
ઓકે, ઓકે સર. થેન્ક યુ. બાય બાય.
બાય.